The kingdom of Blackthorn survived its first year. What began as a small collection of settlers had grown into a thriving frontier village. Though challenges remained, Lord Dain had reason for optimism. The settlement entered its second year with 4 months of food in reserve and a future that appeared increasingly secure. For the first time, survival was no longer the only concern. Blackthorn could begin thinking about growth. A successful summer would require more hands, more families, more workers, and so Lord Dain ordered the construction of additional homes. The village had survived. Now it needed to expand. With additional homes planned, Blackthorn entered the spring of year 2 in a position few frontier settlements ever achieved. For the first time, the village was not reacting to a crisis. Food stores remained healthy, construction continued, and daily life settled into a routine. Though progress appeared slow, Lord Dain understood that stability in itself was a victory. A settlement that survives can grow. A settlement that grows can prosper. By May, Lord Dain's attention turned towards the future. The village had survived one winter, but lasting prosperity would require greater agricultural production. New fields were ordered, additional homes were planned, and for the first time, discussions began regarding the construction of a permanent manor. No longer merely a temporary settlement, Blackthorn was beginning to establish the foundations of a realm. The proposed manor represented more than a residence. It was a symbol, a declaration that Lord Dain intended Blackthorn to endure for generations. What had begun as a frontier village was slowly transforming into the seat of a growing domain. As summer settled over Blackthorn, Lord Dain's focus shifted from survival to self-sufficiency. New families continued to arrive, bringing additional labor, skills, and opportunity to the growing settlement. While the village's fields remained important, medieval communities rarely relied on agriculture alone. Many families maintained their own gardens, others raised chickens for eggs and meat, some kept livestock to supplement the village's food supply. Across the medieval world, kingdoms were built not only by great lords in vast fields, but by ordinary families working their own small plots of land. Blackthorn would be no different. Each new household strengthened the village's economy and increased its chances of long-term prosperity. As production increased, Lord Dain looked outside the village's borders. A trade route was established, allowing Blackthorn's craftsmen to export clay shingles to neighboring settlements. Though modest in scale, the agreement marked an important milestone. For the first time in its history, Blackthorn was participating in regional trade. The village was no longer merely surviving, it was beginning to contribute to the economy of the wider world. The remainder of the summer passed without major incident. Fields were tendered, workshops remained busy, trade continued to flow throughout Blackthorn. For the villagers, daily life became increasingly routine. Though such periods are often overlooked by history, they are among the most important. Prosperity is not built during moments of crisis, it is built through countless ordinary days of work. With each passing month, Blackthorn grew stronger, and with each passing month, Lord Dain's vision for the future became more ambitious. The village had survived its founding years. Its population continued to grow, trade routes had been established, and construction of the manor was underway. Yet Blackthorn existed within a larger world. Beyond its forests and fields lay other rulers, other settlements, and other ambitions. Seeking a better understanding of the realm beyond its borders, Lord Dain prepared for a journey. His destination would be the two neighboring kingdoms that shared borders with Blackthorn. Much of Blackthorn's history, the surrounding lands had remained little more than names on a map. Now Lord Dain would see them for himself. Though relationships remained peaceful, the existence of the neighboring realms served as a reminder that Blackthorn was not alone. The kingdom was part of a much larger world, and that world was also continuing to grow. Lord Dain's first destination was the kingdom of Schachspitz. Though different in appearance and culture, its existence served as a reminder that Blackthorn was not the only isolated frontier settlement. Other rulers had begun building their own futures across the region, and each kingdom would ultimately shape the history of the realm. From Schachspitz, Lord Dain continued onward to the kingdom of Roanoke. Like Blackthorn, it was a young realm still finding its place in the world. The journey offered valuable perspective. Though Blackthorn had made immense progress during its first 2 years, it was not the only one. As winter returned to Blackthorn, so did Lord Dain. The first snowfall of the season began to blanket the countryside. Much had changed since the previous year. The village had grown, trade routes had been established, new families had arrived. The livestock trade had begun. The sheep pastures were completed. Fields, workshops, and homes continued their daily rhythm despite the cold. 2 years earlier, Blackthorn had been little more than a dream carried by a handful of settlers. Now it stood as a growing realm with ambitions that stretched far beyond its borders. As the year came to a close, thoughts turned towards the future, towards larger harvests, greater prosperity, and the challenges that year 3 would undoubtedly bring. The Chronicle of Blackthorn would continue.